Welcome to Beat the Number. This is the NBA Morning Edition. My name is Abby. It's Friday, March the 14th. Again, we're just here to discuss a handful of games in the National Basketball Association for the NBA Morning Edition of Beat the Number. Again, the lines of oddslogic.com. Again, we're looking at the point spreads, over-unders, and the injury report for the NBA. That's on oddslogic.com. All right, so the first game we're going to look at here, it's going to be Boston at Miami. This game opened up 7.5, total 214.5. Now we're seeing it go all the way to 8. So we're seeing a lot of 8s on the board, starting to see 8.5. So we're going to look into this game further, and we'll check the injury report after that. So we'll look at the line movement right now. Let's see the public where the public and sharp sides are on for this game. Then after that, like I said, it'll be the injury report. It's a little early, nothing there, nothing to report yet. Let me check another book here. See if you see anything. So far, pretty quiet. Well, the only three we have so far, the public is on the under in this game. So we have an under. Public's on the under in this game. That's all we see so far. Nothing on the side for the public or the sharps. Just the under so far. All right, so now we're looking to the injury report for this game. That's Boston, Miami. So Boston, Derek White, knee questionable, 50-50 to play Friday. Jaylen Brown, knee questionable to play Friday at Miami with a knee, 50-50. Jason Tatum, same thing, knee questionable to play Friday, 50-50. Alec Burks, Miami ruled out. Porzingis, illness, questionable to play Friday at Miami. Nikola Jovic is out indefinitely with a hand. Kevin Love out, personal reasons. He's been out for a while. And that's it. So we're going to look at the head-to-head between these two teams. So Boston, Miami, we'll look at. So they've already played twice already. This is a third meeting. Boston's won both meetings. First meeting in Boston, 108.98. Boston covered the 9.5. It went under 220. That was the first meeting. Second meeting was under 210, 210.5. Miami, it was in Miami, and Boston won 103.85. It was under 210. Looks like the last 4 out of 5 meetings have gone under. So we'll look at the third meeting now. Boston overall 7-3 last 10, 5-5 against the spread, 4-6 to the under. So Boston, they are 4-1 last 5 games and are 3-2 to the over. Miami 3-7 last 10, 6-4 against the spread, 4-6 to the under. That's 0-5 last 5 games and are 1-4 to the under. So for my play in this game, I like the under in this game. I like under. Let me get the right number here. Let's see. Yeah, so I like the under in this game. Under is all the way down to 215 now. So it's coming down. To me, it's moving. The number is moving in the right direction. Again, the last 4 out of 5 meetings have gone under in this series, and the market's reflecting that. The public is showing the under, and I agree with the public so far. I like the under in this one. So it's under. You have to just shop around for the best number, right? The low, it's gone down to 215, but you can still get it at 216.5. if you shop around, just you still see some 216, but it's starting to come down to 215. So try to get the best number as possible. But I still like the under 216 and a half, 215. But shop around. That's going to be my play for this game. I have nothing else to add to this game. That's all I have for this one. So it's Boston, Miami for the under 215 or under 216 and a half. Okay, so game number 2. The next game we're going to look at here, Cleveland and Memphis. We're going to look at this one. The total here is actually the opening number for this game is -2 Cleveland and Memphis. Total 247 and a half. The numbers come down to 1.5 in some places. Other places have it at 2.5. So it's kind of all over the place right now. But the totals come down drastically from 247 to 244 and a half. So we'll look into this game here, and we'll look into the line history for this one. See where the public is and the sharps where they are. So take a look at this game. So the public's all over Cleveland. The public's all over Cleveland. And they are on the under. The majority on the under. Wow. Under 240. Under 244. Okay, that's the under. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the injury report for both these teams. We'll scroll through that so you guys can see. So that's Memphis and Cleveland. So Santi Aldama out Friday, not playing. Jared Jackson Jr. ankle questionable to play Friday at Cleveland, 50-50. That's it. So that's all for the injury report. Nothing much there. So now we're going to look into the head-to-head between these two teams. We'll look at that now. All right, so we'll check out the Memphis and Cleveland. Looks like it's the game of the night. So head-to-head, they played February the 23rd. First meeting was in Cleveland last month. Cleveland was a 6-point favorite. Cleveland covered at home, 129-123. It was a push. It was over 247 at that time. So this is the second meeting now. Cleveland overall have won 10 straight games. They've covered 5 out of the 10 games as a favorite. 5-0 last 5. And 1-4 to the under, Cleveland. Memphis, 5-5 last 10, 1-8-1 to the under, 4-6 to the under. Memphis has won 4 straight games. They're 4-1 last 5 games, and they are 0-5 to the under. Wow! So both teams playing to the under. So I guess what this means is if both teams are playing to the under. I know the first game was over, but both teams have a winning streak going. Memphis's 4-game winning streak, Cleveland 10-game winning streak, and they're winning because they're playing a lot of unders. They're playing defense. Both teams playing defense. So therefore, even though the first game went over, I agree with the public here. I like the under 244 and a half. So I agree with the move. I agree with the total moving down from 247 to 244. So to me, that's justifiable. So I do like the under. Cleveland, Memphis, under 244 and a half. I like that. I like that play. So the next game we're going to look at here, this will be the third game we'll look at. We're going to look at Orlando and Minnesota. That'll be the next game. Opened up at 9. -9, total 211.5. Minnesota number has gone up to 10.5. And the total has come down drastically to 208.5, pretty much across the board. There's still some 209s, but the majority is 208.5. So we'll look into this now. This is the third game. So nothing there, but a little bit early. We'll check another book just to get another perspective. All right, so Orlando's getting all the money. The Magic are Orlando. The public's all over Orlando. Nothing on the total, but Orlando getting a lot of Orlando money. All right, so we'll look at the injury report now. Take a look at the injury report. Let's see here. Cole Anthony, questionable to play Friday at Minnesota. He has a toe issue. So we'll check other injuries here. Minnesota, Orlando. Jalen Suggs out for the season. Looks like everybody's healthy for both sides, other than those injuries. It's pretty much, looks like pretty much everybody's healthy in general. So look at the head-to-head, Orlando, Minnesota. So Orlando, Minnesota, this is the second meeting. First meeting, January 9th in Orlando. Orlando is favored. I'm sorry, Minnesota is favored in Orlando, and Minnesota covered in 104.89. Minnesota covered -6. It was under 199. This is the second meeting now. 3-7 last 10, 4-6 against the spread, 4-6 to the under Orlando. Orlando, 2-3 last 5, 3-2 to the over Orlando. And they're on the road trip. They're on a 5-game road trip. This is the fourth of the 5 games. Minnesota, 7-3 last 10, 7-3 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. Minnesota has won 6 straight games. 6 straight. They've covered 4 out of the last 5 games as a favorite. So 5-0 last 5, and 3-2 to the over. So Minnesota 3-2 to the over last 5 games, 5-0 to 5-0 last 5. So both teams are playing to the over. Let's see. Let me see here. I'm trying to see here what's the best play. So both teams are playing well. Orlando, Minnesota's been red hot, man. They've been covering at home. They've covered 2 straight at home. Philadelphia -13, San Antonio -11. Minnesota's been covering. Man, man. Let's see. Let me take a look at something here. Hmm. Man, let me see. It's a 10.5. Is it going to 11? Man. Still looking into this further. Just bear with me, guys. Hmm. I'm gonna have to take in this game. I'm gonna have to look at the. I gotta take the under in this game. I gotta have to bet the under. This game will be the under. Under. Under two. It's come down to. I'm not touching this side. I don't want to get in front of Minnesota. They've been playing well. They've been covering spreads. So I'm going to take the under here. Under 2. Shop around for the best number. It is starting to come down to 208 and a half. So I'm going to bet under 208 and a half. That's my play. Under 208 and a half. Orlando, Minnesota. And I'm going to take that. So I'm taking the under for this game. Yeah, I like the under here. Under 208 and a half. That's going to be my play. I don't have a play on the side. I'll leave that alone. But it'll be under 208 and a half for me. That's Orlando, Minnesota. That's the third game. Nothing. So that's all I have for that. Nothing else. The next game we're going to look at here. Let me see. Another game we can look at here. We'll look at the Clippers and Atlanta. Clippers and Atlanta. We'll look at that one. Clippers and Atlanta. So this one here, the Clippers, it opened up at 3.5. The total is 232.5. I'm sorry, total opened up at 232. 3.5 Clippers. Now we've seen it go all the way to 4. We're seeing some 4.5s right now pop up, but it's mainly 4, and it's the total is 234. We're seeing it go to 234 mainly right now. 233.5, 234. So we'll look into this game further. Look at the look where the sharps are and the public. So the sharps are, the public's on Atlanta. They like the Hawks covering. And they like the under. So that's where it's at so far. Let's check it out. Let's get another perspective here. Yeah, they're on the Hawks, Atlanta Hawks public play, and the under. Getting a lot of under money in this game. So we'll look into this game further. We'll check the injury report. And this will be the last game that we're going to cover for the NBA segment. This one, the Clippers and Miami. That'll be the last game we cover. So look in the injury report here. Clippers and Miami. Clippers and Miami. I'm sorry, Clippers and Atlanta, excuse me. Clippers, Atlanta, excuse me. See if you see anything here. So Clint Capella, questionable, personal reasons. So he's 50-50 to play. Not sure if he's going to play. Norman Powell is out indefinitely. He has a hamstring issue, so he's out. Larry Nance Jr., knee out indefinitely. Uh, let's see. And that's it. That's all the injuries for that. So we're gonna look now into the head-to-head matchup between these two teams. That's Clippers Atlanta. So head-to-head, they've played once already earlier this year, January 4th in LA. Clippers were a 7-point favorite. The Clippers won 131-105, and it went over the total 230 and 230. All right, so we'll look into this one further. Clippers 5-5 last 10, 3-7 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. Clippers 4-1 last 5 games, and are 4-1 to the over. Clippers in their last 5. This is the third and final game on the road trip for the Clippers. Atlanta 6-4 last 10, 5-5 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. Atlanta's won 4 straight games. They've won 4 straight, but they've beaten. The last 2 wins were like against bottom feeder teams, so nothing much to make of that. They're playing a Western Conference team now. Let's see. In Atlanta right now, they are 3-2 to the over. So both teams are playing to the over. This is 233.5. But I think we're getting a lot of under money in this game, which is surprising. Surprise has gone under. Maybe it's the Norman Powell issue. Yeah, it's Atlanta, and then a lot of under money. A little bit surprised by that. So look into this further. Let's see. Yeah, a little bit of. Let's see here. You got Atlanta. Let me look into this one further. I'm taking to look into this game further. I'm gonna take plus 4.5 Atlanta. I'm gonna take the Hawks here. I like the Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks have been playing very good at home. They're very feisty at home. They have a lot of momentum, 4 straight wins. They have a healthy squad for the first time in a long time, and it's showing here. And it shows here in the last few games that they've played. The last 4, especially the last 4 games at home. I know it's against the last 2 games are against bottom feeder opponents, but I like the Hawks in this position as a home dog of plus 4.5. I like him here. I mean, they nearly covered against Milwaukee, and they were a 5-point dog. They didn't cover, but they came close. They lost by stiff. The spread was 5. They lost by 6. They came close. Hawks have been very competitive. I like him here at plus 4.5. Yeah, I like this. I like this spot for Atlanta. I like the Hawks here, plus the 4.5. Nothing on the total. I don't want to go against the public. I know the public's on the under for this game, but I don't want to go against that. I don't want to go against the public, so I'm going to stay away from the total and just take the Atlanta Hawks plus the 4.5. I like him in the spot here, just to keep the game within range. Clippers on this road trip, they haven't really been covering on the road. They've been up and down on the road. Um, they they're 1-1 on the road trip, but they haven't really covered a spread on the road. Um, they haven't covered a spread on the road in a long time. I don't remember the last time they've covered a spread on the road. It's been a while. I'm looking at the road games that they've played, and they haven't really covered a spread. So I like it. That's another reason why I like the Hawks. I think that I like the Hawks here in this spot to stay within the points and keep this a close game. So Atlanta for me again plus 4.5. I like the Hawks here. All right, so that does it for the. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Abby. Those are all the picks in place for the NBA Morning Edition for Beat the Number. Whether you favor or follow these picks, it's up to you. I just look at the games and make my assessment, and make my choice on what I like, and I go with what I like. Again, whatever you do, favor or follow. I hope you cash some big winners for Friday's slate of games. Hit some cash some tickets on these games for the picks for point spread and totals. Again, good luck to you guys. Hit the like and subscribe button for more picks and plays for the point spreads and the over-unders. Again, we're going to have the player props edition this afternoon. Player props for team totals. And we're going to have some player props in general. We'll have that this afternoon. But until then, good luck to everybody. Stay true to yourself. Stay blessed. Stay humble. Believe in yourself. Good luck. Hit some winners tonight for the NBA slate of games. Peace. I'm gone.